Good morning, students. In the second lesson, motion, we have started and seen what is rest and what is motion, types of motion. After the types of motion, we have seen the distance, displacement, velocity, and acceleration, graph based on that, and then equation of motion. Equation of motion, three equations of motions. Now we are going to see that motion of object under the influence of gravitational force of the earth, freely falling body. You know very well, because of the gravitational force, every body which we are throwing, even if you are throwing up or putting down, it will be reaching the ground very fast. So because of the gravity, because of the earth gravity, whatever the object we are throwing up or we are putting down will reach us the ground very soon. These bodies are called as freely falling body. Once we lose the body from our hands, we are not supposed to pull or push, but it is automatically, because of the gravitational force of the earth, it is falling down. So it is called as, these bodies are called as freely falling body. Freely falling body, let us have an example. If you are in a terrace and throwing two objects such as a stone and an eraser, you can see that the stone and eraser, which one will fall down soon, and or which one will reach the ground fast. In the same way, if you throw a paper and a stone, the stone will reach the ground earlier than the paper because of the air resistance. The stone pierces the atmospheric air layer and falling down. The mass of the stone helps to pierce the atmospheric layer and makes the stones to fall down because of the gravitational force of the earth. But the paper doesn't have an resistance, doesn't have an power to tear the atmospheric layer. So because of the atmospheric resistance, it is falling, it is struggling, and at last it is falling down. So both, because of the mass and the air resistance, makes the object to fall down soon or later. If you throw the same paper and an stone, it will fall the ground at the same time in the absence of atmosphere, in the absence of air, or you can say both are falling in the vacuum condition. So the acceleration due to gravity is constant. Because of the air only, its speed is varying. Activity 7. Take a large stone and small eraser, stand on the top of a table and drop them simultaneously from the same height. What do you observe? Activity 8. Take a small eraser and a sheet of paper, stand on the top of the table. Here it is given as top of the table. I am saying that you are in a terrace, that's all. No difference between that. Take two sheets of paper having a same mass. Now crumple one of the sheet into, crumple means you are crushing the one of the paper and make into a ball, and another one, this is also in one of the example, and you are checking in each case which one is falling first and what is the reason, because of the gravity. So in the activity 7, both the stone and the eraser have reached the surface of the earth almost at the same time. In the activity 8, eraser reached the first and the sheet of the paper reaches later. In 9, the paper crumpled into ball reaches the ground first and the plain sheet of paper reaches later. Although they have an equal mass, do you know the reason? When all these objects are dropped in the absence of air medium, all would have reached the ground at the same time, because in air medium, due to friction, air offers resistance to the motion of a freely falling object. The resistance offered by air is negligibly small when compared to gravitational pull. So in the absence of air, all the objects falling towards the ground at the same speed. Hence they reach the ground at the same time. But in the activity here, the air resistance exerted on the sheet of paper is much higher than that of the eraser. Again in the activity 9, air resistance offered to the plain sheet of paper is much higher than that of the offered to the paper ball. This is because of the magnitude of an air resistance depends. From this above activity and the explanation, what we got is that the air resistance makes the object to resist to fall down towards the ground. So yes, when a body is thrown vertically upward in a space, then at a highest point the body has zero velocity and the acceleration is equal to the acceleration due to gravity. They will move towards the ground, towards the earth because of the gravity. The area of the object exposed to air. If we do experiment in a tall glass jar from which air has been sucked out, both the paper and the eraser would fall at the same time. Same time is instead of time is given as rate. Already I told you in physics, wherever you found the word rate, that shows the time. Galileo dropped different objects from the top of the leaning tower of Pisa in Italy to prove the same. We know that an object experiences acceleration during free fall. This acceleration experienced by an object is independent of mass. This means that all objects, hollow or solid, big or small, should fall at the same rate. Only condition is in the absence of air. In the presence of air, the speed will be varied because the air resists the body if it is a lighter mass. If the mass is more, the mass of the body pierces the air resistance, air layer, and falling down. So acceleration due to gravity acts on every object is same, is constant. The equation of motion for a freely falling body can be obtained by replacing A. By replacing A in all the three equations of motion what we have studied. What we have studied, V is equal to U plus AT, V is equal to UT plus of AT square, V square is equal to U square minus 2GH. Isn't it? When you are dropping a body or throwing up, you are not giving an initial velocity to them. So U will become 0 and A will be replaced by Z. So V is equal to GT, S is equal to half a GT square, V square is equal to 2GH, V is equal to U plus AT. So U is 0, instead of A we are writing G, V is equal to GT. And S is equal to half a GT square. Actually S formula is S is equal to UT plus half a AT square. Instead of U you are writing 0 and instead of A you are writing G. So V is equal to U plus AT. U is 0 plus GT. So V is equal to GT. S is equal to UT plus half AT square. U is equal to 0 and A is equal to G. So you will be getting S is equal to half a GT square. The same way the third equation. When we throw an object vertically upward, it moves against the acceleration due to gravity. Hence G is taken as negative sign. Hence G is taken as negative sign. Now we are going to see the uniform circular motion. Now we are going to see the uniform circular motion in next slide.